So at this time, I'd like to introduce our first speaker, Brett Gilliland. For those of you that don't know Brett, he is the co-founder and CEO of Visionary Wealth Advisors. And as you can see by the extensive bio in the program, he's had a long career, 18 years in financial services. And his mission, as well as Visionaries, is to help people achieve a future greater than their past. And based on this passion, he created the Circuit of Success, which has now evolved into a podcast where Brett interviews successful entrepreneurs, authors, leaders, and is now a weekly radio show on the Big 550 KTRS, as well as hosting great events like today's Circuit of Success Summit. In addition to leading Visionary and the Circuit of Success, he's extremely involved in the St. Louis and Metro East communities, and being an active member of the St. Louis Sports Commission and on both the board of directors of SIUE's School of Pharmacy and Brace for Impact 46 wasn't enough. He and his wife Julie founded Swing for Hope, a cancer charity that funds cancer research and assists families impacted by cancer. However, anyone that knows Brett knows that his true passion is being with his family. He and Julie have 4 boys, Max, Drew, Hudson, and Asher, and are very involved in their school and church, Holy Trinity, as well as very involved in coaching teams, hosting events, and being there for everything that matters. Please help me in welcoming our friend and fearless leader, Brett Gilliland.
Thank you, Jana. Everybody hear me okay? Everybody that knows me knows I have not been nervous at all this morning. So this has just been great getting ready for this. I just want to thank some of our team over here. Lauren Huber, if you could stand up, Lauren. Kate, I almost said Kate Solberger, but she just got married. Kate Hurt, Jana Gregoric, and then I don't know where Emily is at. Is Emily running around here somewhere? But Emily is outside probably with her team. No, she's back there in the back. That's Emily back there. So if you need an event planner, a wedding planner, if you're going to do a summit or something, Emily is your person. And then you work with those ladies, a lot of great things happen. So thank you all for the work that you've done. And thanks to our sponsors, and then Jana mentioned our advisors, but I just want to say to our advisors and our team at Visionary, you guys inspire me every single day. Just the work that you do to go out every single day and to impact our communities is very, very inspiring. So hats off to all of you, and thank you for all you do. So a lot of people ask me about the Circuit of Success and what that is. And one time, in probably about 2005 or 2006, we had my wife, my beautiful wife right here, hardworking. I'm going to talk about her later. We were sitting at our kitchen island, and she was doing stuff in the kitchen. And I said, you know, what if you could just take success and put a fence around it? Wouldn't that be nice if it couldn't get too far away from us, if we could keep ourselves aligned to success? And that's where the Circuit of Success was born. And so when I looked at that, I said, in my opinion, what's one of the most important things that's helped me become successful or try to become successful? And first and foremost, that's attitude. Right? Every single day, this morning, right? This morning, the alarm went off, and we had a choice to make. Right? We had a choice to make that I could choose to be in a great mood. I could choose to be in a bad mood. Right? I could choose to go out and conquer the day, or I could choose to let the day run me. And you're going to hear me say a lot about choices today, because it is about choices, the choices that we make. Last night, and Ryan, don't worry about this, this was not you. We were at a baseball game, like I always am during the summer. We were in Troy, Illinois at a baseball game, and for some reason the topic of reading came up. And for those that know me, I love to read, and which I know shocks my parents. But I love to read, and he said, I love the feeling, this guy said, I love the feeling when I finish a book. And he goes, but I don't do enough of it. And I said, well, that's a choice, right? That's a choice. And so the choice is if we read 10 pages a day, if we surround ourselves with great people. My mic go off? There we go. If we surround ourselves with great people, that's going to help us get into a better attitude. So it's our choice, okay? Once we have a great attitude, we get up, we go on our day, what happens? Sometimes those little lights are blinking, right, on our cell phones or our office phones, or maybe it was a crazy morning with 4 boys at home, right? Maybe it was something with traffic. Maybe somebody cut you off. That's called rejection. And we deal with it, and no matter what business we're in, we deal with rejection every day. And so that rejection tries to take our attitude and turn it bad, right? But again, whose choice is it? It's our choice. So we got to think about our attitude. We got to think about the rejection we go to. I call it the bounce back theory. Those of you here last year heard me talk about it. I said, I think I'm going to make it up and coin it right now. I call it the bounce back theory. The most successful people in the world that I've studied or been able to interview or hang out with, they bounce back pretty dang quickly from defeat, right? You ask any Major League Baseball player, ask any pitcher who gives up a home run in the bottom of the ninth, what's he have to do? He has to bounce back like that, because tomorrow there's going to be 40,000 fans screaming his name, millions of people watching on TV, and he has to flush it, right? He has to get rid of it. So if we go to our offices or we go home, we want to get in the fetal position and we want to, mope about it and then go tell all of our friends about it and how tough it was and how bad it was, and we continue to do that day after day, week after week, month after month. I see some kids in the room and I think it's awesome. I'm sure you were so excited to be here today, but if you could take one thing from today is when you get knocked down, just get right back up. Just get right back up and go after it, right? Go after your goals, your dreams, your aspirations. So that's the rejection. Then we have belief, and I should have said this earlier. This is on page, I believe, 3 or 4 in your little booklet. The circuits are in there. The next one is your belief system. So your belief system, because if you wake up in a good attitude, you get that rejection, we have to be committed to our core to have an unbelievable belief system that makes us successful. What do I believe? I believe in God. I believe there's a higher power that's helping me through everything. This is not about me, right? That's what I believe. I believe in goal achievement. I believe in journaling. I believe in meditating, right? I believe in exercise, which has been a battle of mine throughout my life. Thankfully, I'm fit, but I've had to really work at it. And I've had to have accountability with people in this room and say, hey, if I don't work out for 30 minutes a day for 30 straight days, I'll pay you money. I know I'll do it if I have that bet, right? So we got to do that. I believe in that. And I believe, this is where I said I'm going to come back to my wife. I believe in a support system that you have to have at home, right? What we all do for a living, no matter what industry we're in, is very, very tough. And so that support system is critically important for our success. We got to be able to share our struggles. We got to be able to share our excitement. When we were starting Visionary Wealth Advisors a little over 5 years ago, I was talking to my wife and I. We were in our bedroom. I don't know if you remember this or not, but my wife is 8.5 months pregnant with our 4th child. We were about 13 months into the new home that we built, and she looked at me and she said, do you think this is the right time? She probably was hoping for a different answer, but my answer was no. This is not the right time. This is a terrible time. We just moved in this house. We're having our 4th baby, right? But is there ever a good time? Is there ever a good time? Tim always jokes. Is there ever, what do you always say something about, do you ever regret making the right decision, right? No, we don't regret it. But it's that belief system that you have to have somebody at home that believes in you sometimes more than you believe in yourself. And then my wonderful parents, that I was able to grow up in an environment to help me believe in myself. Right? So I want to say thank you to the 3 of you for helping me believe in myself and for challenging me. Sometimes my wife would challenge me more than just say, she's not a yes man or a yes woman, right? She's going to challenge me. And so we got to challenge ourselves and dig deep into our core and find out what are those things that we believe in that have made you successful. I happen to be the one up here, but there are so many people in this room that could stand up here and give this exact same talk. You have your things that have made you successful, but how clear are you about those things? Are they written down? Have you articulated them? How often do you go back and look at those things? Right? We have to do that every single day. After beliefs, you'll see there's a thing called faith. There's faith in God, for me, right? That's what I believe. But there's also faith that you just got to have faith to do it, right? You got to have faith. I'll pick on Chris right here. Chris Bortz, an attorney in town. And Chris, when you were brand new 20-something years ago, young attorneys probably said, do A, B, C, and D, right? If you do A, B, C, and D, what happens? You'll be successful, right? But we just have to have faith that it actually works because you have no idea. And I could pick on anybody in the room. You have to have faith in the people that have gone before you to just get it done. Okay? That leads us to action. This is probably the one that I talk about the most because action is so important in our everyday lives. If we don't take action, every idea doesn't. We have the best ideas in the world, but if we don't take action, they do not matter. Right? I hear people say, well, I'm just going to dream about it and pray about it and think about it. It'll just happen. No. That's a lie. It won't happen. We have to get up every single day and make it happen. I started something on December 21st this year that has been a game changer. Of last year that has been a game changer for me. And I call it Focus 90. Focus 90, I walk in every day with that backpack. I walk in my office. I set it on my chair. I grab the book I'm reading, the journal that I have with me everywhere I go. I set it on my desk. I grab my water bottle. I go. I say hi to Kate. I say hi to Brad Keene. I say hi to Mike Clark. I say hi to Ryan Barkey and Jana. And that's my walk to the water fountain. Every morning. Fill it up with water. I walk back. I go in my office. I shut the door. For 90 minutes, I get to choose to control my day. Right? We all have kid events. We all have work. We all have phone calls. We have emails to make. But if I can take just 90 minutes of my time and do the 5 things that I need to do to be successful, who wins? I do. That doesn't mean I don't have 900 emails to reply to or voicemails to return or things that we have to do. But if I'm committed to these 90 minutes, I will win the day. No questions asked. And it's not do it Monday and Thursday and maybe next Friday. It's, you don't brush your teeth 14 times or 21 times on Sunday, do you? You brush them 2 or 3 times a day, every day. We have to do the Focus 90 every day. Every day. Every day. Right? If I do that, I will be successful. Part of my Focus 90 is I have to read 10 pages every day. That's the part, again, my parents probably think, I can't believe this kid is saying he's going to read a book. I didn't read a lot of books growing up. In fact, I read one book growing up, and it was Fab Five, the Michigan basketball team. That's what I wanted to read. I'm not proud of that. That's just the truth. And so I did some math. If you read 10 pages a day, like I'm recommending, you're going to read about 1.5 to 2 books a month on growth, on mindset, right? On business people, what they've done to become successful. If you do that, and let's say I choose to not read, you read 10 pages a day. How easy is that? Can anybody read 10 pages a day? Is anybody in here religiously reading 10 pages a day? So there's a few of us, right? How many people wish they were reading more than 10 pages or reading at least 10 pages a day? Probably most of the room, right? If I read 10 pages a day, that's about 2 books a month. That's about, anywhere from between 18 to 24 books a month, somewhere in there, because the average business book is about 205 pages. 5 years from now, I'll read 100 books. 10 years from now, I'll read 200 books. And 15 years from now, I'll read 400 books. Mike Lemp, if you read 400 books, I read 2 books, who has a greater likelihood of success 15 years from now? Probably you, right? Probably you. But you have to go back 15 years and start today to read the 10 pages. That's not difficult. But I can tell you, it's a game changer. It is a game changer. 400 books 15 years from now. But you got to start today. So that's just one action. If we can focus on the Focus 90, if you have some time today or some time tonight, again, take action. What are the 3 or 4 or 5 things that, you know what, if I just did these things every day, I win the day. All the other nonsense can happen, but I win the day. I could talk about this for an hour, 2 hours if we wanted to. That's how important it is to figure out how you, in this busy world with notifications and emails and phone calls and 900 select baseball games and select soccer games and volleyball and gymnastics and all the things that we all do as parents, Focus on yourself for 90 minutes a day. Get it done. Okay? Next is to take action, though, it does take courage, it does take perseverance, and it does take discipline. Right? What is courage? Courage is picking up that phone and calling that potential client or that potential prospect, or if I'm Garish, calling that person at a CVS pharmacy or Walgreens or whoever it may be. Right? It takes courage to pick up the phone and call people. It takes perseverance. What's perseverance? Get up one more time, then you get knocked down. We've all heard that, right? If you get knocked down, we talked earlier, bounce back theory, you got to get back up. I just read a book, I think it's called The Magic of Thinking Big, and it said, the faster you get back up, the faster you're going to get to your next victory. Right? So if we put that in perspective, and we think about those things, do you want your next victory to be quick? Or do you want it to be months and weeks and years and quarters and whatever away from now? No, we want it to be as soon as possible. Right? So have perseverance. The discipline is, I got to read every day, right? I got to do my Focus 90. I got to make some phone calls. I got to reply to the email. Whatever it is, you got to have the discipline every single day to do it that ultimately gets you the last circuit, which is results. Okay? I hope there's no Cub fans. I know at least 2 Cub fans in here right now, and I'm not happy about that. But the results matter, right? If you go to the game tonight, at the St. Louis Cardinal game, how many times do you look up at the scoreboard? Like all the time. Why? Because we want to know the results. What's this person batting? How many outs are there? What's the score? What inning are we in? Right? We do it at a baseball game that means nothing really to our own personal lives. But what's your Jumbotron in your life? Right? What's your Jumbotron in your life? Where are you at with your score? What inning are you in? Are you winning? Are you tied? Are you losing? Are there 2 outs? Is it the first inning? Is it the 9th inning? Where are we at? And results matter. And we have to go out and we have to measure our results, again, every day to see where we're at. And then once we start to get results, that creates a whole new vision. I look at my buddy Ryan Peterson and Derek Meinhardt out there, and we were joking today. I've known these guys since I was in 3rd grade. So it's kind of, makes me kind of more nervous to speak in front of these guys because they know me as a different Brett, right? We've had a lot of fun together over the years. And my vision when we were in 3rd grade and 7th grade and high school is probably a little different than it is today. Right? Their visions are different than they were when we were kids. And the more results that we get in our life, the bigger that vision is going to become. But it starts with today. Right? To have the right attitude. So I want you to think about this for a minute. On a scale of 1 to 10, just in your mind, think about where are you at on your attitude right now? How'd you wake up this morning? Did you wake up fired up for what's going on in your life? Or did you wake up a little bit, man, I know I should be doing this. I know I should be doing that. Well, however you woke up, give yourself a scale on 1 to 10. Where are you at? Where are you at in your belief systems? Where are you at on the level of belief that you have every single day that you know you've got the right systems in place to be successful? Where are you at on a scale of 1 to 10 in your action? Maybe you've got a grand business plan and it sits beautifully on your desk and you know exactly what you want your life to look like 5 years from now. But where are you at? Where are you at? Where are we at on our results? Are we getting the results that we want to have in our life? So we talked about choice. So today, I hope, just all I hope for, our mission, my personal mission, our firm mission, we want to help you achieve a future greater than your past. Who here doesn't want a future greater than their past? Not saying your past is bad by any means, but we want a future that's greater than our past. Maybe we want to give more. Maybe we want to go to church more. Maybe we want to exercise more. So my hope for you today is that you choose. You choose to go pick up a book and read 10 pages and put great things in your mind. I hope you choose Focus 90, and take 90 minutes of your day. I think it's something like 6% of your day earmarked for yourself. I hope you choose to spend time talking to all the great people in here today. And I hope you choose to take one nugget from today, from all these great speakers that are going to be following me, and implement something in your life.